All right. Are we ready? We're gonna watch Even Fancier Paintings by Internet Historian Incognito Mode. The second part of the Fancy series. We about to get educated on how to be fancy. Oh my god, why am I tracking? I said series. So my phone thought I said no. Aye, aye, Captain! I can't hear you! Aye, aye, Captain! Alright, let's get into it.
NordVPN isn't like the other girl.
NordVPN.
Hello, incognito mode videos now.
Yes.
Alright, so the schedule for this mini-series goes like this. We did the main channel on theatre, then an incognito mode on painting, which is this. Then there's a main channel on wine, and then an incognito mode on a bunch of stories around wine. And there's a main channel on things that people wear. There's a main channel on luxury goods, and then we round the whole thing off with 2 more incognito modes. And then I go back into cryostasis. This first section is on the basics of painting, and we were a little bit worried to show it because we kind of felt like this will split the audience. Not because it's political or anything, but because it's so basic. So someone who already knows something about art would be like, yeah, of course, why are you telling me this? But for someone like me, who knows practically zero about art, I found it really interesting, and I thought, why the heck haven't I been told this before, right? So, first section.
The basics of painting.
Basics of painting.
Action!
The art.
The arts.
The art.
The arts.
Do not put an F in front of that. Worst mistake I ever made in my life.
Arts.
Do not put an F in front of that. Worst mistake I ever made in my life. Alright, first, some things that'll make you go, yeah?
Yeah?
Or, right. So look at this colorful goo.
I thought that was
Paint.
piss. I thought we were watching someone take a piss.
Right. So look at this colorful goo. Paint. Delicious in both jam and chip form.
Yes.
But its raw components are just 2 essential things. An undissolving pigment.
Pigment.
And a medium.
Right?
Now, pigments are basically just colorful dust. And the medium is the liquidy thing that the dust hangs out in.
Water, oil,
Now, the
things
liquid
like that.
determines what type of paint you have.
Right.
Pigment plus water equals watercolors. Pigment plus glue equals acrylics.
Right?
Pigment plus oil equals oil
Oil.
paints. So simple. And pigment plus moving on. Now, the
No, you did not. You did not. Historian! No! Oh my god, not the cup, not the jar, not the My Little Pony jar.
moving on. Now, the pigment does not dissolve into the medium. Instead, it's just kind of suspended in it.
Right.
When the pigment does dissolve into a medium, that's a dye. So that's the basic difference. Now, you have to transfer the paint onto the canvas. To do that, we need to talk tools.
Tools.
Well, first, you can just use your fingers.
Oh my god, wow.
It was good enough for the cavemen, and it's good enough for your mom. So it's good enough.
Just use your fingers. If it's good enough for the caveman, you bet your butt it's good enough for your mom.
Fingers. It was good enough for the cavemen, and it's good enough for your mom. So it's good enough for us. Then we tried brushes. Now here is the anatomy of a brush. You've got
my
the
God.
handle, the bristles, the ferrule, and the crimp.
Crimp.
Now
brush.
the bristles are the most important bit. First we were
Right.
just using mangled up reeds called fronds. But they got really good once we started using animal hair. Have a look at some of the animals we use.
Bristle.
Taken from the neck or the back of the pig. That is the kind of brush that Van Gogh used. And it's still the gold standard for today. A goat brush. It's good, but it's not the goat. Lacks some spring, so it's mostly used for calligraphy. Badger.
Oh, that makes
now
sense,
that's actually
yeah.
mostly used for shaving, not painting.
Badger. Oh my god, we use badger hair? I would never guess that.
Calligraphy. Badger. Now that's actually mostly used for shaving, not painting at all. Horse, raccoon, and wolf. Also not great quality. But what's the worst quality of all? You know, the gutter oil of the brush world. Well, the worst quality is camel hair brushes. And they're mostly sold as
Really?
arts and crafts brushes for kids. But the weird thing is, camel hair is so low quality that it's not even used in brushes at all.
Oh my god. I thought he was gonna say human hair. There is no hair from the real camel in this brush.
All. Huh? Yes, so-called camel hair brushes are actually made from cats and rabbits and squirrels.
I forgot about that.
Actually made from cats and rabbits and squirrels.
I did not know that.
But that makes people kind of sad. So they changed the name to a much less cute animal and also one that's kind of exotic so you wouldn't question it. Now, what's the best brush of all? What is the
Human.
S tier of brushes? Those are made
Human.
from sable.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, this, of course.
sables.
10 out of 10.
Now, sable is a type of weasel. These are hunted for their fur for clothing.
Oh, don't do it! Don't do it!
But when they catch them to make clothes, they actually only want the body for the clothes. And so they discard the tail altogether.
Oh, and they make it
But
into
those
the
tails
brushes.
have the best hair for paint brushes. And so they are snatched up by the brush makers. Now the hair is special because it has an interlocking scales that vastly increases the surface area. But it also holds strong in the long
Yeah.
term. Firm and bouncy, but also soft.
It's smooth, it bounces, it moves. Only with new Tresemme Keratin Smooth.
And they sell for upwards of 300.
Holy shit! God, for a single brush. For a single brush. Holy cow.
$100 a brush. All right, here's a top 10 list, sort of maybe Watch Mojo style, of the most famous paintings and just a few interesting things about
The
them
best
that you may not know.
paintings.
Pop quiz, sports shoe wearer. Look at this painting. What does it make you feel?
I can't express what it makes me feel. I'll be banned on Twitch and YouTube.
Too late. Or if you answered in time, wrong answer. Happy, sad. I bet those are the only two emotions you even know. The correct answer is shame, because you are embarrassing yourself. You know nothing about the arts. So it is time to look at the best paintings to ever exist. And let's begin with the most obscure of them all.
The Mona Lisa.
Whoever this is.
Super Mario. Mario 64 sound. Oh my god.
Ah, the Mona Lisa. Now, I thought it went first name Mona, last name Lisa. Check it out.
Mona
But turns
Lisa.
out Mona is an honorific, meaning madam. So it's Madam Lisa.
Oh.
Now, relatively
I did not know
recently,
that.
historians have figured out who she actually is, and they found out that she's married to a Florentine merchant, Francesco del Giocondo. So that makes her
Giocondo.
Lisa del Gioconda. And that
Okay.
explains the alternative title of the work, La Gioconda.
That makes
Now,
sense.
the reason she has her arms crossed and is a little bit chubby is because she's pregnant. In fact, you can kind of see that she's wearing a veil, and that particular type of veil was worn by pregnant women at the time. Her husband commissioned the painting when Da Vinci was already well known, so it would have been very expensive. And
Portraits, lots of money. Murals, tons of money. Kiss on the lips, free.
that makes it very funny for a couple of reasons. One, it was never handed over to the family. Instead, Leo left it in his will to his apprentice. And 2, because for a couple of hundred years, the prevailing theory was that she was not an aristocratic wife.
There are also theories that the painting is Leonardo's mom, or even Leonardo himself in drag.
But instead, a prostitute. Her hair being down and her almost absent eyebrows were common traits of working girls at the time.
Oh,
Anyway, why?
I didn't know that. Plucking eyebrows was common for prostitutes at the time. However, Mona Lisa was painted with eyebrows which had since faded away.
Anyway, why is this painting so famous?
Why?
Well, Da Vinci was already pretty famous, and the painting got stolen. This became a very big news story, and her face suddenly started getting plastered on a whole bunch of newspapers and wanted posters.
Mona Lisa, the world's greatest portrait, stolen from its place on the wall of the great I can't read that, Louvre Gallery.
And wanted posters, making her very recognizable. From there, she became the most famous painting, which is why she always looks so smug. Starry Night, Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Painted while he was in the St. Paul de Musol Asylum. That's here.
The Louvre.
And this was the view from his bedroom window.
Oh, wow.
Here is the real view a few decades later. He chose not to paint the metal bars. Now, you can see that there are 11 stars in the sky here.
Right.
Supposedly, that's reference to Joseph from the Bible. Joseph, he had a hard life. The minivan, he had a hard life too. And he hoped that he would be remembered at least once he was gone. Like Joseph. And you know...
I just realized I got that joke earlier. It took me a minute to realize what he meant by this joke over here.
Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah, I sure hope it does.
I hate that it took me so long to realize what it meant. My brain was mega delayed there. Does the Van Gogh? I sure hope it does.
Painted while he was in the St. Paul de Musol Asylum. That's here. Later, he chose sky here. Supposedly, that's reference to Joseph
Cargo
from the
space,
Bible.
no cargo
Joseph, he had a
road.
hard life. The minivan, he had a hard life too. And he hoped that he would be remembered at least once he was gone. Like
Right.
Joseph. And you know what? It worked out for him because everybody remembers Van Gogh and nobody remembers the guys who bullied him and called him a ginger. Also, there's kind of a theory that he was killed by some kid. Go check out Wendigoon's channel for more information on that one.
Fine.
Ah, the birth,
The birth of Venus.
of Venus. All right, let me tell you what's happening in this one. So, there's this lady, Venus. She is the
Right.
goddess of beauty, and she is coming up out of the ocean in a big clam, right? Now, the clam is not a metaphor for her vagina.
Are we sure about
It's that she is the perfect pearl. Get it?
Oh,
Now,
okay.
these two here are a divine wind. They are blowing her like a hot spoonful of soup towards the shore. And she is carried all the way over to the beach. And this beach, by the way, is a real place called Paphos. It's in Cyprus.
Paphos.
Here is what it looks like in real life. Now, when she arrives on the beach, a nymph shows up, which is this lady here, and she has a cloak, and she throws the cloak over Venus, and she says, "You know what? You're very special. One day they're gonna name a 4-blade razor after you."
I use that brand sometimes. Sometimes used for shaving, you know what.
Arrangement in black and grey number 1. Also known as Whistler's Mother. Most famous for its appearance in the Mr. Bean movie. Now, when Whistler's mother originally agreed to be painted, she agreed to be painted standing up, but she had to
Right.
pose for so long that eventually she got quite tired and had to sit down.
Yeah.
Here you go. And that became the famous pose.
Right, okay.
The Garden of Earthly Delights. All right, this one is probably my favorite because it looks like a Where's Waldo, and then the whole thing just goes
does.
completely.
It really does look like a Where's Waldo picture. Oh my god. There's so many booties. Oh my god, look at all the booties. Look at all the booties.
off the rails. So, Mr. Hieronymus. That's a name that's going to make a comeback. is doing all of this cool surreal stuff about 500 years ago. So let's start on the left. Here is Adam and Eve, and the pre-incarnation of Jesus. And they are all hanging out in the
They
garden.
just chilling, yeah.
Now what's going
they
on in the
chilling.
middle bit? That's harder to explain.
We don't really know for sure what it represents.
The best theory is either that this is Eden, if people were allowed back into the garden, or
That
if
would
they...
make the most sense to me. Especially since they have the representation of Adam and Eve and Jesus. So that would make the Garden of Eden would make the most sense to me.
This theory is either that this is Eden, if
It's a
people
nude
were allowed
garden
back
party.
into the garden, or if they had never left in the first place, or if man had not committed original sin. But look at the size of that strawberry.
That's a big ass
Oh, here
strawberry.
he is.
Ah,
Then on the
there's
right-hand
Waldo.
panel is hell, or at least a very bad time. This is where Oddlaw would end up, that son of a bitch. Right, now, here's the interesting bit. It's not painted on a typical canvas. It's actually a sort of cabinet thing with 3 panels called a triptych. And the neat thing is, if you close the doors, more painting.
Oh,
That
that's
is the
cool.
earth, and that is the firmament.
Yeah.
A perfect balance between flat earth and globe
Flat
theory.
Earth. You shut up. You shut up. Flat Earth.
A perfect balance between flat earth and globe theory. A Sunday afternoon on the island
Oh,
of Le
I know
Grand
this
Jet.
painting. Yeah.
This thing is pretty big, and here's the real-life place it was painted after. Although they've beautified it even more with the office building at the back. What you may not know is that it is actually a sequel. First, George Seurat painted the left bank, and that's where all the working class sit. You see these guys that, you know, have a bit less money and stuff. Gross! And then this is the one that you all know, and that is on the right-hand bank. And all these people are a very bougie sort. That is Scrappy Doo. And that's a monkey.
That is a
The
monkey.
Last Supper. Okay, so the scene is this. All the disciples are gathered around, and this is the exact moment that Jesus declares, "Hey, by the way, I know one of you betrayed me." And this is everyone's shocked
I know
reaction
who did it.
to the news.
I know who did
Except
it. I know who the imposter is.
there's one guy who's just pretending to be shocked.
Judas.
And here is who everyone is. I thought this was...
All I can think about is my favorite Vine joke. Oh my god. Now I have to find it. Hold on. This one. all I can think about is this line.
I brought you frankincense. Thank you. And I brought you myrrh. Thank you.
Murder.
Murder. Judas.
No.
I brought you frankincense. Thank you. And I brought you myrrh. Thank you. Murder. Judas.
Judas, no.
I brought
I love that so much.
Mary, by the way. Turns out that's John. Very progressive. And that's all of the paintings, and no one has attempted one since.
And I brought you
Ah.
murder. Time.
I wake up. Quickly, flip the Nord logo, Marianas Trench. Flip it the other way, 3 pyramids.
What does it mean? What
There's not
does
much
it
time.
mean?
I gotta log into NordVPN so the corporations can't track me. Marketing companies gang stalking me, listening to me through the walls. We found the death note.
Found the death note. We found the death note.
Gang stalking me, listening to me through the walls. We found the death note. Wake up again. I don't have much time. The feds are at my door. Open up. I refuse to take my Nord milk pills. I wake up again. The demon in the corner of my room wants to access my
What's the
Nord.
sleep paralysis demon?
I lit him, because I can use it on up to 6 different devices.
Thanks, Nordman.
I know the
Thanks,
corporations
Nordman.
are building profiles on me. I go to Facebook, I go to Wikipedia, then suddenly I'm getting ads.
Wikipedia. Now we know what Why is my tracking stopping? There we go. Now we know what his search history is full of. It's feet. WikiFeed, the collaborative celebrity feet website. Oh yeah, you like feet? You like feet? I have feet. Did you guys know? I also have feet. Look. I also have feet. Oh god, no, I can't hear anything. What did I click? What did I do? Oh, that's what I did. There we go.
Big feet, big foot, big farmer. On Tuesday, I saw a red car.
There's chemicals in the water and they're turning the frogs gay.
Big foot, big farmer. On Tuesday, I saw a red car. Coincidence?
I think
Huge
not.
deal on a 2-year plan plus 4 bonus months. 4 sides to a triangle.
The
Coincidence? There's a guy
Illuminati?
reacting to my life in the corner right now. 30-day money-back guarantee. What's the goddamn catch? Time's going faster than usual, and only a limited time to get a great deal on a 2-year plan. I'll wake up again. It's the perfect Christmas present.
Who are you?
Wait a minute. My family died in a suspicious house fire. Skinwalker in my house. Changed location to Finland. Different regions have different prices on plane tickets and hotels. That ain't even a conspiracy. I take more microplastics so I can see through the
Oh,
ether.
hold on, let me drink some of my microplastics. Damn it, I'm almost out. I need a refill. I need more microplastics.
We're coming in, Nordman.
Pizza time.
But they're too late. I click Hyperborea and I am untouchable. If you understood anything that happens in this ad, go to
understood all of it.
nordvpn.com/incognito to get a huge deal on a 2-year plan plus 4 bonus months. Ad over. All right, so this one is about how to spot a fake painting. I quite like this section, but it kind of got bogged down by all of its technical information, and it went quite long. So, here it is, for the discerning audience. How to spot a fake painting.
Teach me more. I'm listening. I'm listening. The Ninja Turtle.
Glug, glug, glug. Oh,
That doesn't look like milk.
is that...
That looks a little too thick to be milk. Screw the painting. What the fuck are you drinking?
Glug, glug, glug. Oh, my God.
Michelangelo.
Is that a real Michelangelo?
Yes. It's the Michelangelo.
We're here now. Quick hypothetical lower tax brackets. If paintings like this one, or this one,
Fuck you. Quick hypothetical lower tax brackets.
quick hypothetical lower tax brackets. If paintings like this one, or this one, go for literally gajillions of dollars.
Yes, they
That's
do.
USD. Then what's to stop someone from doing this? Then this.
Yep.
And then
True.
this.
Yep.
Then this. And then saying it's real when it ain't. You know, faking a painting. Turns out, not much at all. In fact, it can be very difficult to tell these fake-ass paintings from the
From the
ones
real
that
one?
keep it real.
Right.
There's a whole ass art to detecting these fakes.
Good
and it's
lord.
become an arms race, where the authenticators find new ways of detecting, and the fakers find new ways to get
faking.
around their methods.
Technology is advanced. Do you think that makes it harder to make good forgeries?
No, you can beat the forensics.
So, authentication. There are 3 main categories: provenance, connoisseurship, forensics.
Okay, yeah.
Let's start in alphabetical order. Provenance. Now, provenance follows the history of the painting, tracking down the previous sellers and the buyers,
Where it
or the
started,
galleries
where
that
it
exhibited
originated.
it, the hand-to-hand that it was passed through, all the way back to the original painter.
Right.
However, the older the work, the harder it is, generally, to track the provenance. Take, for example, the most expensive painting ever sold, the Salvator Mundi, the final Da Vinci, sold in 2017 for $400 million.
Holy million for a painting. That's a lot of dollars.
And it can only be traced back to 1958.
Ooh.
Back then, it was sold for £45.
How?
But
What? How does it go from £45 to $400 million? What the fuck? Less than 100 years ago, by the way. Less than 100 years ago.
8. Back then, it was sold for
Damn, inflation's
£45.
crazy.
But in the other 500 years of its history, no one knew where this thing was. Even today, people still dispute whether it's genuine.
So we don't actually know its origins, like its true origins. That's crazy.
It's a real flim-flam. And this
Flim-flam.
is a made-up piece of junk. I think it's fake art news.
Hashtag
Real
fake news.
in drag. Then it turns up in America? In New
America?
Orleans?
What?
Oh, I see. I think we've wished
So
this Da
sassy.
Vinci into existence. Here's the lost Leonardo that somebody once mentioned in a book.
Provenance has gotten a lot easier over time. You used to have to track down books and read catalogs and stuff, but now it's all online. Control plus F, there it is. So you see, kid, there's nothing online. Nothing. Tell me who you bought this from, you son of a bitch. Where did you get this? Tell me the name of the auction house that sold you it. Connoisseurship. Look at the work. Do you believe what you are
Beautiful.
seeing?
Yes.
How does it look? How does it taste?
It's-
Are these ballpoint?
I don't know. Tell me. Let me hold on. Let me get a taste. Hold on. Tastes like tastes like soup.
Believe what you are seeing. How does it look? How does it taste? Are these ballpoint pen strokes those of our master
They're
artist?
delicious. Yes.
Luckily, there are people like Martin Kemp, who spend their whole careers focusing on single artists.
I've been dealing with Leonardo for, I suppose, about 50 years.
They can pick out the fakes. So, for example, when he was looking at La Bella Principessa, he went, yup, he uses the Trois Crayons. He's a left-handed artist. The proportions of the head and the face are all correct. You know what? I'm going to give this a big rubber stamp right there in the middle of the painting. Confirmed. So, for the fakers, they have to have a keen understanding of who they are copying.
Right.
One of the best fakers, Almir Dahore, for example, mastered the brushstrokes of artists such as Matisse, Modigliani, and Renoir so well that hundreds of museums are currently in possession of his works.
Holy shit! Inserted more than 1,000 forgeries into the art market. Many of these works still residing unexposed in museums and private collections today.
Without even knowing it.
That's
Yes, well,
crazy.
Michelangelo was famous for his Cangiante painting techniques, and I can't see any of that here. You're 0 for 2, kid. You're going down. Forensics. This thing's going straight to the lab. You're about to have a paint brush up with the law. Masterpiece. More like
dang it.
you're a real masterpiece of shit, kid.
I love when he breaks character. He's so dumb. Yeah!
Piece. More like you're a real masterpiece of shit, kid. Alright, now the people that solve murders have really changed the game when it comes to art forgeries by implementing radiocarbon dating. Radiocarbon dating. Carbon dating? Yeah, but it's not serious. Listen, you're made out of carbon. I'm
Carbon dating? Oh my.
dating. Carbon dating? Yeah, but it's not serious. Listen, you're made out of carbon. I'm made out of carbon.
Right.
Paintings are made out of carbon. And when a thing is made
So
out of carbon...
are are we paintings then? Is that what you're trying to say? We're made out of carbon. Paintings are made out of carbon. So then, are we paintings?
There are these unusual isotopes of carbon-14, right? They're floating all throughout the air and the atmosphere. Now, all living things contain a trace of them. They are taken in when something eats, breathes, anything else. And that happens continuously throughout the life cycle. However, when the organism dies...
That's so uncomfortable. Sorry. That's so out of pocket. Terrible. You're terrible.
happens continuously throughout the life cycle. However, when the organism dies, it stops taking in new carbon, right? Which means it stops taking in new carbon-14. Same.
Oh my
stops taking in new carbon, right? Which means it stops taking in new carbon-14. Same thing happens to a painting. You've stopped putting paint on the thing, no more carbon.
Making carbon, okay.
Carbon-14 is an unstable isotope, and it decays at a very steady rate. It turns into nitrogen-14 and a beta particle.
Beta!
And because these carbon-14 atoms decay at a very steady rate, in principle, you can look at the proportional number of carbon-14 atoms and determine how old something is. More carbon-14, newer painting. Less carbon-14, older painting.
It says carbon chads at the top, and at the bottom it says carbonless virgins. God dang it. Yeah, here, let me move so you can see. Carbon chads. Woo, woo, all the way down to carbonless virgins.
In 1985, using this technique, they caught a guy, Robert Trotter, who forged a Sarah Hahn painting. Far too many carbon-14 atoms.
It's not real.
Lock 'em up, boys.
We got him, boys.
But there are even simpler methods of testing the age of a pigment. 3 Jackson Pollock paintings were found to be fake when it was determined that the pigments on the canvas weren't sold until the 1960s. But Pollock was dead by 1956.
Suspicious.
Nowadays, there are huge pigment libraries.
Holy shit. Prehistory, antiquity, medieval age, Renaissance, and early modern, industrialization, and contemporary, present day. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of colors.
Be easily cross-referenced. So that shows the year a pigment was first introduced.
Right.
And what year it stopped being used. For example, anything that has titanium white has to have been produced in the...
All I can think about is Bob Ross. We need some of that titanium white. All I can think about is Bob Ross.
For example, anything that has titanium white has to have been produced in the last 80 years.
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you, kid. Michelangelo never used the yellow Crayola. X-ray. Now, you can blast this thing with some radiation and look behind the painting to see what's underneath.
Right.
For example, did the artist do a sketch first? Maybe this is painted over something else.
Oh.
If you look behind the Mona Lisa, you can actually see that she had a much larger head once, although maybe it just shrunk with age. And you can see that veil much more easily. Also, if you X-ray even further, you can see her fully formed skeleton. But the art forgers of today are a wily bunch. Forgers can source old canvases from the correct period. They can use error-matching pigments.
Yep.
Even the carbon dating can be a bit unreliable. Heck, even the X-rays can be bullshitted, as forgers take into account that their work will be X-rayed, as they do a sort of fake painting or sketch first, and then paint the next version on top. Alright, kid, I'll give you $20,000 for this, or a shiny new bottle of Ritalin.
Take the Ritalin. Take the Ritalin. Take it!
Works every time.
What a steal.
This
Phil's
section is
here.
about Shakespeare.
Did someone say drugs?
Well, that would make so much sense for it to be in the theatre video on the main channel.
Shakespeare.
This dude showed up and changed the game. Shakespeare. Here's the thing, though. We basically know nothing about him. First, we don't know what he looked like. There are two...
Man, is there that many renditions of what he supposedly looks like? Holy shit.
We don't know what he looked like. There are two best guesses.
Source: Shakespeare, The World as Stage, Bill Bryson.
One is from this engraving on a first folio. But that wasn't put together until 7 years after he was already dead.
Yeah.
One of his peers, Ben Jonson, knew him though and said, yeah, it's pretty close. So maybe.
Close enough. You know, I don't exactly remember what he looks like, but you know what? Good enough.
Jonson knew him though and said, yeah, it's pretty close. So maybe. The second is a bust that was made for his grave. There are a bunch of others, but they weren't commissioned by Shakespeare himself. They weren't done while he was alive, and he didn't exactly stop to pose for them.
Right.
But these are the ones we most recognize him by. This includes Chandos, which is probably the most recognizable.
Honestly, the most recognizable one for me was... Let me go back. Oh my god, let me go back. This one. The second. I feel like I've seen the second one a lot more.
Includes Chandos, which is probably the most recognizable. So this could be him, or this could be some completely other dude.
All we do know is bro's got that receding hairline. you leave poor Shakespeare and his receding hairline alone.
Recognizable. So this could be him, or this could be some completely other dude, or it could be an idealized version. Now, we also don't know exactly when he was born, or when he died, or how he died. His birthday is celebrated on the 20th.
Shit about him. Oh my god. We know a lot less about him than I knew.
3rd of April, but there's no record of that. Right. And then he died on the 23rd of April as well.
Damn,
so he died on his birthday. Odd coincidence. But we know that he did marry a lady named Anne Hathaway. Yes, same as Catwoman, but this one was the original. We also don't even really know how to spell his name. There are tons of different signatures by him, but they're practically all spelt differently. And let's not even get started on the conspiracies of whether or not he really wrote his plays. The son of 2 illiterate parents from a lower-class neighborhood suddenly becoming the world's greatest playwright? Bit suspicious. Also, whether he was gay, or worse, whether he was foreign, or what the hell is going on with his...
You stop that. You stop. You stop that. What could be worse than being gay, being foreign?
Was gay, or worse, whether he was foreign, or what the hell is going on with his grave? So if you go to the Holy Trinity Church in Stratford, there is his grave. There.
Good friend. It's, I think, in a different language. Never mind, I'm not going to try to read that.
But there is an engraving above him. Blessed be the man that spares these stones, and cursed be he who moves my bones. Cursed, you see.
Like a curse.
You're not allowed to dig him up. So everyone is super spooked out by the curse, and they refuse to dig him up. So archaeologists instead have done radar scans.
Oh!
Turns out, his head is missing.
What? So we really don't know what he looks like, because they can't even take like his skull and like try to like go from there. Like they don't even have anything to work off of.
Radar scans. Turns out, his head is missing. He was grave robbed in 1794, so we can't even
reconstruct. That's the word. Reconstruct his face. actual radar scan of grave. This one is a bit weird. There's actually a short story about Shakespeare's head being stolen, which was published in 1879. The story itself is set in 1794. In it, a man hires a gang of grave robbers to steal the head. In 2016, Shakespeare's grave was scanned properly and the head was discovered missing. Turns out that there are all sorts of little details that match up between the short story and those of the real-life grave robbing that must have happened. E.g., the depth of the grave, the material inside. Seems like someone knew someone. Citation, thought co.
So we can't even reconstruct him that way. And they won't open it up for DNA tests. So
That's
it's likely
crazy.
that we will never know the
Will Smith is Shakespeare.
truth. The government is hiding something.
They are.
The point is, Shakespeare stole a theatre at one point. Okay, quick Shakespeare moment. In 1599, Shakespeare was working as a playwright with his acting troupe called the Lord Chamberlain's Men. Now, they were
Right.
leasing out a theatre in Shoreditch called the Theatre.
The theater.
Creative name. Anyway, they had a disagreement with their landlord, Giles Allen. Giles revoked their lease.
Oh, no.
Shakespeare and the Chamberlain's Men were not very happy about that, but they had no option but to walk away. But a few days later, in the dead of night, they came back. Now, the group met up just outside the theatre, and they had bribed the watchman to look the other way. Then, with daggers and tools in hand, they broke into the theatre. Now, they weren't there to kill Giles, and they weren't there to steal stuff from the theatre. No. They were there to rob the theatre. They tore down the entire building, piece by piece, and they started carting it away to a warehouse.
They stole the physical theater. They stole the physical theater. Oh my god! They literally stole the physical theater. That's amazing. Oh my god! That's crazy.
Building, piece by piece, and they started carting it away to a warehouse. From there, they ferried
stole
it
the show.
across the Thames and over to Southwark. With the materials that they stole, they constructed the Globe Theatre. And there it stood for the next 14 years.
Wow.
Until it burnt down. Whoops. It was a performance of Henry VIII, and a prop cannon was involved. Don't worry about that. But then it was rebuilt. But then in 1642, it was shut down again. But in 1997, a recreation of the Globe Theatre was made once more. And in London, you can visit it today. As long as you can avoid being stabbed. And now for the best section of all.
Oh yeah?
Come on, people, we're ready to shoot. Where's the pizza box with the hole in it?
Stop. Don't you look at me like that. Don't you look at me like that. It's diabolical. Don't you look at me like that. You stop. You cease. You cease.
People, we're ready to shoot. Where's the pizza box with the hole in it?
Oh, never mind. That's my cue. I gotta go. Catch you soon. Don't forget NordVPN.
Now we know where the pizza box was. He had it. He had the pizza box all along. Oh my god. He had the pizza box all along. They eating that popcorn? He said pizza, not popcorn, right? Am I crazy? I thought he said pizza. Either way. Either way! Pizza, he had to make sure that she was getting the sausage pizza she ordered. You know? He was just trying to be a good guy. She ordered an extra large sausage pizza. You know? Everybody's gotta eat. She ordered pizza with a whole sausage roll. Hand delivered fresh. It's hot and ready, all right.